right now.
Why do we have to
9
start the show with ooh?
Ooh, because it's so like in your face, right? Yeah.
Do you do that when you're doing your own morning show? Do you start the show
No.
with like, ooh?
I see. I don't even remember. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a force of habit. Who knows? But I do always say the date. That's one thing I do say. But we don't
Yeah.
need to right now because it's obvious what day it is today.
What day is it today? Anyways,
The
well,
8th,
the
Sunday the
date.
8th.
The
Yeah.
date. So yes, hi everybody. Yeah, I was just chatting with Danny and Matt here, and I think we're just like, hey, we're talking about altcoins. Altcoins looking pretty decent. Let's talk about it. So, got a few charts here pulled up. He's gonna let me start, so I'm gonna let him finish. No more innuendos after this. Okay. So the top chart here is the S&P 500. And the bottom chart here is the others chart. The ticker symbol is others. Basically, it stands for cryptocurrency total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. So for those people who don't know, like basically you're just taking away, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, like whatever's on the top 10, and you're really looking at like a very good. It's almost like a very good index for the altcoin market overall. So what you're really seeing, and this is, I'm really looking at like the past two cycles in terms of what the behavior has been, and it's been following this trajectory, with a little bit of a throwing off with COVID, obviously, but it's really been following a very same trajectory here. So back around like 2016, 2018 cycle, and also from like 2018, 2020, and also most recent cycle here too. Sorry. Anyway, three cycles, right? You see, I have a label here, and I don't have the years right, but the key thing is whenever you're going to have a cycle that is starting to get going, you're actually going to see that, and a lot of people forgot this too. Like earlier, late last year, when everybody was really freaking out in around like August to October 2023 in the stock market, everybody was freaking out. Sorry, guys, it's my cat. But everybody was freaking out from like August 2023 to October 2023. And altcoins actually did really well during that period, and it just kept on going up. And a lot of people like kind of forget about that. And as we have altcoins outperformance going all the way out to like March 2024, ever since then we just had like 6 months of downtrend, very vicious, right? The stock market has been going up. Has this happened before, where you have a rotation between the stock market to altcoin, and then from altcoin to stock market? And then what happened afterwards? Well, this is the last cycle. The COVID drop over here was a little bit of like an anomaly. I would say that's a true black swan event, and I would not really like anticipate a black swan event right now, because by definition it is not anticipatable, if that's even a word. Um, but like if you're just looking at the overall trend before this big giant run up in like 2020, in 2021, you have a very similar event where the stock market, the S&P 500, did like absolutely nothing, right? From like around 2019, early 2009, did absolutely nothing, when altcoins was pumping up pretty hard, right? And then next thing you know, it rotated, right? The altcoins started plummeting down for like half a year in a row, and the stock market was just going up. And then COVID happened, sure, but after that, everything rallied, right? The cycle before that, same thing happened. Stock market did nothing from like late 2015 to like early 2016, when altcoins was just pumping, right? And then after that, stock market did pretty well when altcoins was correcting. So you have a little bit of rotation there, and then everything rallied after that. I wonder whether or not we're seeing a very, very similar, pattern here in terms of what's going to happen. So that's one thing to talk about. The other thing to talk about is to put up the monthly chart of the others chart. Again, it's the total cryptocurrency market cap without the top 10 coins. So it's very, very altcoin degen kind of stuff. You are talking about a few things here that just make this chart look really bullish. One is that this just looks like a big giant cup and handle, and the handle is happening on declining volume, which is what it's supposed to be. The cup over here, the uprising level of the cup over here, was on increasing volume, and all of this is back testing a diagonal trend line over here almost perfectly, and it also is back testing a rising 20-month moving average almost perfectly. So all of these are really kind of telling me, hey, maybe we shouldn't be that bearish on altcoins. There's a possibility that it has kind of reached its bottom, if not close to it, right? Because we're not idiots, so we're not going to make absolute statements here. But it just makes you think about whether or not there's a possibility. I also posted this on my X. If you guys haven't followed, I have like a new account at Evo Kenton Cat. I lost my old one, but the whole idea is that whenever you have this big giant parabolic uptrend, usually is followed by, and this is like the M2 Global Liquidity Index. You can find it as an indicator on TradingView. And I was just brought to that to my attention by the great JASMY last night on his own post. We did not talk, like any weird stuff last night. But anyway, but looking at the looking at the trend line, like basically, well, it's not really even a trend line. It's almost like a horizontal zone over here. And whenever it breaks this increase in liquidity, whenever it breaks this line over here at resistance, that's generally when like Bitcoin really starts its bull run, right? Whenever it breaks this resistance zone over here for a very long time, for like 2 years over here, for like a year and a half over here, whenever it breaks that, now granted with COVID, right, that really did throw it off. Again, I'm not going to spend my time worrying about toilet paper anymore. That's just not like how I live my life. So if you want to worry about toilet paper, feel free to be my guest. But it's a black swan event, and I think we basically made a very strong V-shaped recovery, and we went up a lot further, right? Global liquidity broke this trend line and actually came back and back tested this trend line over here too. Matter of fact, I didn't really draw it out that far, and then after that, rallied up. So far, the interesting thing so far is usually these things happen before the Bitcoin halving, but this time is actually happening after Bitcoin halving. Like this is a little bit unusual. It's happening a few months after Bitcoin halving. It does make me think that maybe this cycle may be a little bit slower because of that. But the rise in global liquidity is not, it's like real, right? And you might have a little bit of discrepancy initially when you have a breakout. You might have price kind of go down a little bit. When you have a breakout, you might have price kind of go down a little bit. And that's okay. I think eventually there's a little bit of a divergence here that's probably going to end up getting caught up. The M2 Global Liquidity Index, I'm going to say this one last thing, and I'm going to let Matt take over because he's got a lot of really interesting things to show. The M2 Global Liquidity Index is calculated by five different M2 money supplies. I think it's by the U.S., China, Japan, Europe, and Great Britain. So it's a pretty good index in terms of that, and the data actually is pretty updated. So that's what I'm seeing. But anyway, Matt, let's have you take over and show us what you got.
Okay, so let me go to my others chart that I was sharing with you earlier. And where do I go here?
Where do you go? Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Yeah, so this others chart is very, very symmetrical, and it has been this whole time. And ever since, it really just like broke out from all these like angles here in the past and just so on and so forth. But more recently, it's just that blue level right here where it was a resistance at the beginning of February 21, kind of flipped it to a support with a bearish engulfing candle there that flipped it back to resistance, and then was resistance until it broke above with like a bullish engulfing candle up 13% right there on December 4th, 2023. And it's been support ever since it broke out of that level. I can zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see. And that was like the confirmation that it really wanted to be support right there. And sure enough, it has been. And even that August 5th wick down there, it's closed back above. We had a wick again, but it's has the potential of closing back above again for in 9 hours, 48 minutes, right? For this weekly candle close. And what I think could be possible is just maybe just staying in this range, right, from the arc to the blue level there, maybe from let's just round up, say 200 billion all the way down to maybe 170 billion, just in this range, maybe for some time before it's ready to break out. Maybe sooner, maybe later. But I mean, the orange level is coming up soon, this vertical line, and that's April of 2025. I don't know any catalyst that's going to happen there, but I think it has the potential to break out before then. But so many things intersect right there with that angle, with the level, with the arc. So it's going to be a lot less resistance above, like the more time gets dragged along, right? So this is essentially looking like the bottom, really. Like, not going to be 100% about it, but it's looking more and more week after week like it really wants to hold as the bottom. And since the others doesn't include like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, stablecoins, whatever, then this is all the altcoins. So this is kind of saying that the altcoins is basically at a bottom and maybe wants to build a base, which it has been doing, to continue much, much higher. And how high, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, Kat.
Meow, 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 meow.
I'm glad you asked. So, how high can the others chart get? Well, the next level sits at 14 trillion, and that's again not including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, stablecoins, whatever. So that's a huge, right? From 179 billion to 14 trillion. Like, I think people are not expecting something this massive, but the great Matsby is. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, to kind of give you a little bit of a taste, I mean, we just experienced late 2023 to like early 2024, the market cap went from, or the others chart went from what, like 120 billion to like 350, somewhere around there. And that's like a pretty big pump for a lot of coins. Like a lot of things just went like 5-10x. And yeah, if you're talking about like 14, anyway, it's just kind of insane to think about.
Yeah, it's insane. And I won't stop there. I'll just go to the total 3 here. And
Totally.
and totally total 3 from the beginning there in 2017. It's been holding this blue angle forever, and it just hit it again on August 5th, right? August 5th, it nailed it right there. So it's more confirmation. And total 3, if you guys don't know, it's excluding only Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's basically includes like the stable coins and whatever as well. XRP is included as well. So, but this is truly symmetrical with that 45-degree angle here as a resistance the whole time, this blue angle as a support this whole time. So what does that really mean for this? Well, I think it can get back towards the orange level at 4 trillion, right? Pretty soon. I'm not talking about, because that 14 trillion is kind of far in the future, but this 4 trillion could be relatively soon, maybe even by like 2025 or a little bit later, right? We'll see. But just holding that angle perfectly and that wick below through COVID right there, it's just proof that I think this wants to continue going higher and higher and higher and higher. And also with this total 3 2, if I just drew a line from this high here, it's a perfect it's a perfect previous resistance flip to support, right?
Beautiful.
And even going back here, it was kind of like a support zone too. But this is even more beautiful how it was a perfect retest many times, like many weeks in a row, perfect retest so far. So more confluence, in my opinion, that things are closer to a bottom than most people think. If not, the August 5th was already that bottom, right?
You want to see another level of confluence if you pull up the monthly and do the Bollinger Band.
The monthly and the BBs.
And the BBs. Look at August.
Oh yeah, August basically did wick to the 20.
Yeah.
20-month average.
Yeah, confluence. Ridiculous, right?
Yeah, and that was right on the angle too.
Yeah,
You can't make
this quite ridiculous confluence.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that I just think could be the bottom. I'm gonna go over quant now too, because it's outperforming everything right now, QNT. And I'm gonna take off that BB right there real quick. Go back to the weekly chart. But this is looking really great too, because its first cycle, or not first, but its biggest cycle went up to exactly the blue level, right? It wicked above that blue level perfectly, then back down to angles, and then back up to arcs. And it tried to maintain that orange level for a long time until it just deteriorated. But ultimately, it went to the 45-degree angle. And yes, it doesn't look like 45, but it's scaled incorrectly. And then if you just go that way, you can see it's 45, right? So that's it. It looks like more confirmation that that angle right there is the bottom, right? And it didn't even go there this week. It got front ran, you know. So now with their staking rewards news, I guess that's going on, that you can stake your quants pretty soon. That I think it's going to go back up and maybe eventually flip this arc back to support and go back to maybe 95, right? So I think this is one of the ones that looks like the bottom is definitely in as well. All right.
Yeah, I like it. What other ones are you looking at right now besides Klein?
All of them really. Solana, this one's beautiful.
Good. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
It finally basically touched my angle too. Like it kind of fell short on August 5th, but it basically nailed it there. Also, it's very similar to Bitcoin, how it finally touched the top of the Ichimoku cloud too on the weekly chart. So, I mean, with Bitcoin and Solana and all these that haven't touched the Ichimoku cloud since they broke out of it, this is a great sign that maybe they can start building a base on top of that, because I think that's what it was just waiting for the whole time. Just from March to now, it took that long to cool off, right? And now it's touched it, and it can do whatever it wants now. It can go, if it wants to go lower, it can, that's fine. But I think the probability of maintaining a base around here to continue back up towards the 180s to the 200s, the 210s and beyond, right, are there. So, but just using the symmetry of it all, that blue angle has been super important, right? Previous resistance, previous support, and a back test after a breakout of support.
Yeah. So, I like the 2-week Ichimoku cloud the most. I think it really does illustrate. I keep making you change your time frame. But I think it really illustrates, like, it broke the cloud, and then it's just been back testing the top of the cloud for like forever. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good God.
You're beautiful, Matt. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you can see like where the resistance has been the whole time too, like right here with the arc. It like never closed a weekly candle above that arc either, ever. Yeah. And so once it does, I think it can get back higher and higher. So yeah, it's just Solana looks gorgeous. And I'm still looking at XRP too. I know I can't leave that one out. And the market symmetry is still perfect, but
you should switch back to your time frame though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the only thing that's blocking it are these moving averages. Like I don't think you need anything else besides that. Getting blocked by the 200 and getting saved by the 100, just like a ping pong, right? Back and forth, boom, 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 trying to break out. And I think it will one day, but right now it's getting a loss of momentum as it's below the 50-week moving average. So
yeah, as we're losing viewers while you're talking about XRP, like the Ichimoku also shows you the same thing. Yeah, it's like the same story.
Oh yeah, baseline and conversion line stuck right in between there.
It's I think it's gonna break through the cloud because there's just like a lot of wicks above, like into the cloud. Like it really wants to break through, but it's just having a hard time doing it. I guess it's waiting for the liquidity to show up, I guess.
Yeah, one day. But I think it's inevitable. Just judging by how everything is holding so perfectly, it's inevitable. Just one day at a time.
Yep. I think we're starting to get a little bit more requests here.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Where does it start? Do you like the risk reward of Fetch or AAVE more? Fetch AI. I mean, we'll pull it up both. So Fetch is looking pretty good here. I like it a lot. I made a video about it. It's getting blocked by that conversion line currently, but if you just look at the symmetry of it all, you can see that it's a breakout and kind of a back test. It did go a little bit below, but that bullish engulfing kind of is confirmation in my eyes that this blue level wants to hold as a support. So 97 cents, I think, is the level of possible the new max pain. And in regards to it going much higher, yeah, I still think it's going to break out towards like 10, 11 bucks up here eventually, right? And AAVE is already doing pretty well.
Before you go on, do the 2-week chart of the Ichimoku for Fetch. Do the 2-week.
2-week.
Do Ichimoku. You'll love it. Look underneath of that. Yeah. It's like resistance flip. It's like a beautiful resistance flip.
It never back tested it though. That's
it never did. It doesn't have to, but I get pretty close to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as beautiful. Okay, fine. It's ugly. Fine. Move on.
You love the 2-week though. It's your.
I love the 2-week because it tells a good story.
It does tell a good story. I agree.
Yeah.
And if we go to AAVE, I think AAVE is already doing super well. Yeah, it's already in the cloud, but it's maintained that support for a long time. It's not as bullish because it's still pretty far away from the high time frame. Maybe that's why I like Fetch more, because it's more bullish, right? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna just take off this. So we already know it's in the cloud, but
Move your time frame to weekly if you want.
oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it's fine. But it's at support, yeah, but it's can't get above this resistance, and my orange level is super important to break. So is that going to break it? I don't know. So what do I like better, AAVE or Fetch? I like Fetch better.
I like Fetch better too, but look at the Ichimoku on the weekly. That might change your mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's on top. But just like everybody was talking about Core Z, Core Scientific, how it's going to be like so amazing, but it's still under resistance. And I don't like things near resistance. I like them near support, right? So since it's still closer, in my opinion, to resistance up here than it is I guess it's really in the middle, right? Directly in the middle. But I want to see it break this resistance before I get more bullish on it. And that's around 146 for AAVE. And if I just take that off, and yeah, so you can just see how once it gets back above these arcs, I think that's when it's really going to take off. But that'll be maybe a ways in the future, and that'll be maybe like in the 250s or 230s, depending on time, I guess. But I can see it ultimately getting to the next level, and that next level is around 800. So, I mean, it is a bullish looking chart. It held perfectly at that 45. It did go below a little bit, but that's fine because it's just a zone, right? It's okay. But essentially, I need it above that 146 before I'm really excited about it, and it's not there yet.
Do you feel excited about I guess how do you say that?
Wait, say that again. You were breaking up.
Man, they're all like non-traditional. These are like non-traditional finance, right? Are you bullish on these kinds of assets? I guess like AAVE and like CRV is another one that like some people are talking a lot more about. I'm just
CRV, that one has it. I haven't looked at it a while because it kept making lower lows. Oh man, this
yeah,
is
it looks ugly.
it's still
But
trash.
yeah, it's been having like some pretty decent bounce, but it looks like ugly on a high time frame. So
This is all I need. A previous really strong support, and now it's resistance. That's all I need.
yeah, it's no good. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got. Do we have other
Yeah, I
requests
see
here?
JASMY.
JASMY, GST, VELO.
VELO.
VELO. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's
J-Lo.
see. J-Lo.
I can't believe they got divorced again. Anyway, go ahead.
You follow that news perfectly, don't you? Yeah.
Apparently so.
So I'm missing some angles here. Let me go add them. I don't know why it just disappeared. And yeah, I think the pain's not over yet. I think possibly it wants to touch that blue angle before it wants to go higher. I didn't even turn on the Ichimoku yet. Yeah, it's under everything there. SMAs, yeah, under everything. Oh wait, this is Jam. What the heck am I looking at? JASMY. Where is JASMY? I had it somewhere.
That's your jam. Yeah, JASMY is something else. I don't know.
It's
Come on,
man.
man.
It's not my jam.
You only have like 200 different tickers on there.
Yeah, I know. But I have them all on here. Oh, here it is.
There you go. I see it.
Yeah. Oh, but it's under an angle too. Haha. Same, right? Not really. But this is actually still looking like it has the potential to go break back above that, simply because it hasn't even touched the cloud yet. So I think it could be doing something what Bitcoin and Solana already did, and it's probably going to be waiting to do the same thing, to maybe just either come down here around the 0.015 or maybe just drift sideways until it gets to the current price, stay at current price to that cloud, right? So I think, yeah, same thing. It's just a breakout from the cloud, waiting to retest the cloud, and then possibly go higher from there.
Yeah, it's a pretty shallow wave too, if you ask me. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But
yeah, and it never even made a lower low, so that's even more bullish, really.
Yeah,
like if you just drew that line straight across right here, it's like perfect support. So I mean, it has the potential of holding current price and just going sideways until it gets to the cloud, and then maybe go up. But yeah, this chart looks pretty good.
I think Super Ichi, if you pull up the weekly Super Ichi, like it's pretty interesting looking.
Oh, yeah, the bottom of the cloud.
Yeah, it just looks interesting to me. So yeah, anyway, yeah, you can move on.
Yeah, so it's bullish. Just needs a little bit more time, I think. That's all.
Yeah, we just went through margin call. We just went through fetch. We can do render, but I think we got a couple other ones coming.
Oh yeah, I see the ONDO. Yeah, I did fetch. Yeah, render.
Render, and then we have Andrew also asked about GST as well, and then we have Doge and VELO.
Yeah, let's go to render. I have it right here. So I drew that black line simply because it's a previous resistance flipping to support, and I think that's kind of already good enough. And especially it already went to the bottom of the arc on August 5th, right there. So I don't think it needs to go any lower. So also has the potential of the bottom being in, and the Ichimoku. It's all resistance, right? I don't know. You want me to put on that 2-week? Does that show anything, chat?
Fine. Yeah, render. I mean, it looks similar to fetch actually to me overall, but
yeah. Yeah, so I don't think it's ready to break out yet, but I do think that it has the potential of holding this level that it's currently at. So, but it already lost that angle too. So it has a lot of layers of resistance above. Even if I add the moving average on there, there's still more up there at 615. So,
you know what? I do want the 2-week.
Oh, you do now, huh?
It's the same chart as fetch. Yeah, and on the Ichimoku. Where is your Ichimoku cloud, man?
The 2-week? It's right here. Oh, do I have a different chart than you? I'm using the Binance chart. So
you probably I'm using the crypto whatever. Yeah,
the crypto cap.
But I can just share mine real quick just to
because I'm not using the same chart.
Let me just do that. Yeah, you can just flip over. You'll see it. Yeah, you see how beautiful that is.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to show. Here, take over.
Yeah, all right. So this is it's looking good. I think support could be held, but I'm not sure if it's ready to break out yet. But I think it might follow just like Bitcoin and all the rest of them too. So we'll keep an eye on that. And what was
GST?
What is it? What is GST?
I have no idea. Apparently,
it's GST. Oh, it's on Kraken or it's the green Satoshi token. That's what it is.
Never heard of it. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Do I like it? No, not really. I mean, it looks like it has the potential of this being the bottom, though. Like all that support, right? All that support. So, yeah, I guess watch that penny level. If that penny level breaks, then possibly it can go back to the lows. So that's about it.
Yeah, this thing has like $23 million market cap. So like it's going to do some pretty insane things if it wants to do it. And it already did some pretty insane things. I mean, it like went to like 15 cents and dropped all the way down to a cent. So
the chance to do it was when it was on top of the cloud, but I guess this 100-week average was just way too strong, and it just pushed it lower and lower and lower. So yeah, it's not a bullish chart, but it's not making lower lows from here either back in October 23. So this has the potential of being the bottom. Yeah, we looked at Sol. I'll be making timestamps later, Cody, to do it if you just want to wait on YouTube, so you don't have to go back.
I guess VELO, VELO. Somebody requested that, and then Rock requested Doge after that.
VELO, yeah. So VELO's breaking out. I do like it, and it's above all the indicators, so I don't really need them. And yeah, the thing I'm really looking at is maybe a weekly close back above here, and it is above there currently. And let's see. So if it can start flipping these levels to support, but I do like this candle, how it's open below everything, and now it's breaking through the resistance above. And if it can start building a base on top of that, maybe 1.0173 level, I think then it can continue much higher to the levels above and beyond. And the next level it does sit up there around 29 cents. So I think that could be a possibility in the future, but it's got to first break through this previous high over here from May.
Yeah, but the cloud just looks so beautiful for this one on the weekly. It's like absolutely gorgeous how it turned it from like resistance to support.
Oh yeah, boom, perfect back test twice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also getting above the baseline, so it's
It's gorgeous.
it's pretty.
And what else do we have here?
Doge
Ondo.
on Doge and then Ondu.
Oh, Doge. I think
Yeah,
Doge was first.
yeah. Rock asked about Doge.
Let
Rob
me
loves
see.
our spaces, by the way,
Dark spaces.
or our spaces.
Oh.
Dark spaces.
I don't know. I thought we were going to like Danny's dark holes or something. Who knows?
Oh boy. Okay.
Anyways,
You got Doge somewhere. There you go.
yeah. So it's under a lot of resistance still, but at the same time, it's battling that 100-week average, and I kind of want to see it close above the 953, right?
Yeah.
I do have a linear scale chart that I kind of like, but this is the log scale. Let me just pull up the linear, see.
And then when you get a chance, the 2-week Ichimoku cloud for that.
Yeah, will do. So I had a linear scale chart here that 45-degree angle was holding perfectly, but now it's not. So it's like it's just more confirmation that there's more resistance there.
Mhm.
So we'll see. I at least hold this 100 because then that'll be a perfect support. So I think it has that chance to maybe close above it today. But you want me the 2-week chart?
Yeah, do the 2-week if you can.
Yeah, it's right at the 50 average. And it already tested the bottom of the cloud. So yeah, it's like right in that support zone, right in that demand zone. So I think it has the potential of that August, or what was it? Yeah, was that the August 5th low of being in already, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But is it going to break out anytime soon? Not too sure because there's so much resistance above. It kind of looks like maybe XRP, really, how it's just going to get blocked a little bit, right?
I flip back to the weekly and look at the 100 week, and let me see, actually, and then like zoom out back to the last cycle. I think it's okay if it closed below before, like the last cycle before the breakout. I guess maybe like October 2020. Sorry, that's my cat.
You mean the 50 or what?
100. You know, if you're talking about the 100, that's what you worry about, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if you go 100 and look at like October of like 2020, I can show mine here. Let me.
Yeah, I
just
don't have that. Maybe we have it. I have the Binance
Let
chart
me
on.
share
So
mine real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah. So basically, you worry about this, right? You want to close about that, right? That's what you worry about.
Yeah.
The last cycle, I'm not too worried about it because the last cycle we spent like weeks and weeks just like closing above and below. Like it doesn't really matter to me, you know. As long as it hugs it, as long as it just keeps on gravitating towards around there, I think eventually it's gonna, use that as support. The other thing I think is also positive is that I think it's positive sloping here, and on top of that, the other thing is also there's no volume on the entire downtrend. So like I really don't care if it ended up closing the week below. It's just on like no volume, and this is Binance. Like the same thing's on like Coinbase. So. There's just no volume at all, so I'm not really worried about like whatever it wants to do by the end of the week. So anyway, I'm done sharing.
Alrighty. Did I miss any here or no? Oh yeah, Ondo. It looks like, huh?
Yeah. Somebody asked about Ondo.
Ondo.
I'm gonna let the cat out. You keep doing it.
Let the cat out of the bag. All right, so let me go to share my screen again. And here's Ondo here, and that is on the weekly chart. And I think what it's looking like, it wants to come back down to these levels here. And that level really sits around maybe 43 cents or possibly 44, depends on time. But yeah, it had a good breakout from the beginning, went to the blue level, got rejected, and then it lost support all the way down. So is it done yet? It could be, right? But I think for true symmetry, this was like a breakout of that orange arc and could be a back test of it. So I think hope for the best, stay around these levels, but prepare for the worst, maybe around the 43, 44 zone where that angle and the top of the arc meet right there. So just be patient with that one, I would say.
Well, a lot of these coins look very similar. Like there's a big run up from, I guess, for like months, and then you have like downtrend for months. Like a lot of them look very similar. So I do wonder whether or not this whole last few months just like a big giant wave too.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Like no matter which coin I look at, really, it's all looking very, very similar. Like I can even pull up Tau, and Tau is the same. It's like it never even made a lower low. Sure, it wicked below, but the bodies of the candles never closed below here. And it's just like building one solid base for a possible run up in the future too. Like every coin looks very, very similar. Even HBAR here, like I have a black line drawn right here, and it was a major support level here, and it's basically a breakout, backtest, breakout, backtest, and I think it has the potential of holding this and not even getting to the arc below. So it's like so many coins are just looking like they're at support and the bottom is in, and I mean, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but it just
we totally did. Jinx.
It just feels that way, right?
Jinx.
You can't really get bearish on a chart that keeps on holding support, can you?
I can't, and I just also show you like the macro picture too in terms of what like the whole cycle analysis, things like that too at the beginning. So somebody asked about SHX. I'm afraid to like pronounce it.
What, XMR, you mean?
SHX. I don't know, like stronghold.
Oh, SHX,
yeah. Don't get demonetized.
Yeah, that's true.
Looks good.
Really there's not that much data, but daily chart, it's trying to break above the 100 day. So it's getting there, right? It's at resistance, so I'm not too excited about at resistance, but if it breaks that resistance, then I think we can talk. But right now it's just battling it. But it was good to see it finally break this 50-day average. That's really good. So one step at a time, baby steps, right? So it's not dead, still alive. It didn't make a lower low from the August 5th, so that's a good thing.
Actually, if you there's a which one do I have? I think I'm looking at the gate.io one. The US you want to get a tether that gives you a little bit more history.
Yeah.
That looks more bullish because it has some like higher high like back in February.
Look at the 50-week average though.
I know.
Nailing it. But it is upward sloping still, so that's a good thing, right? But we'll see. It's still at resistance regardless, no matter which time frame you look at and which chart you look at. So got to be patient for it to break resistance. Like the time to want it is when it's holding a base, like right down here. It was holding all these wicks through, and it even wicked down to the 100 perfectly, right? So now it's at resistance. Just be cautious, right?
Yeah, it's at resistance, but it looks like it doesn't look bad, but it's at resistance. I agree.
All right, Rose Tether, maybe Binance, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this one looks like it could be at a low, right? Previous support, flip to resistance, then support zone, and back tested it. Yeah, has the potential of being a support and has the potential of being a low, right? But still lots of resistance above. I don't know if it'll break out anytime soon, but the possibility of being a bottom is there, right?
Yeah. What's the past tense for rise? Is it rose or is it risen? I don't know. But
well, has risen or rose. It just depends if it's a past participle or not. I don't know.
Yeah, but this is like big giant descending wedge. Like I don't know when it's gonna break, but it looks nastier than Doge actually. So but it is probably gonna take some time. But it'll probably rally together with the other stuff. But probably
if everything else goes up, then this will go up too.
Yeah.
GRT,
the graft.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it's looking similar to a lot of stuff. But again, if you went back in time and just put that line there, it's a possibility of this being a support zone, right? Previous resistance, support. So
2 week Ishimoku. The 2 week Ishimoku for the graph.
The dos semana. All right.
Dos semana.
Yeah, bottom of the cloud, like
Yeah.
almost a month and a half in a row, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice looking chart if you look at 2 week, but if you look at weekly, it's like, but you look at 2 weeks, like, okay, not too
And this
bad.
2-week candle does close this evening too, so this is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, fine support, confluence.
But yeah, I mean, no matter which chart they're going to give us, I think it has the potential of the bottom being in for crypto. Like it's just there, it's in front of us. So like I said, I don't want to jinx it, but it just looks like any chart they can recommend, unless it's a CRV. Don't recommend that one, guys. Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know. Like, watch this being wrong. Like CRV is like
Yeah.
the darling of the season. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
it just goes up like 1,000,000x.
yes, I think like yeah, Big Mike is pretty big on it. I think like credible crypto is pretty bullish on CRV too. But
How can you be bullish on that chart though? I mean, we already showed it.
don't know.
I just don't understand how. Well,
Credible
that's not.
crypto also thinks that Doge is going to 5 cents, so I don't know.
Yeah, but this is not a bullish chart at all for any chart, no matter if it's a stock
Yeah.
or a crypto or anything. That is the previous support flipping to resistance, and it's going to be and it got rejected. Like look at that weekly candle, down 21% after hitting that previous
Yeah.
support. Like there's
Big
no way I can be
pumping
bullish
dump.
on this chart.
Yeah,
No
it's
way.
unfortunate. And then the last one, but not least, is XMR,
XMR.
the private coin XMR.
Well, that looks like XRP in a nutshell, really. Stuck under the 200-week moving average, right? They both start with X. I think that's why, right?
Yeah, it's an old coin, starts with an X, and yeah.
Yeah, so
Go for it.
no, just any coin stuck under the 200-week moving average for like this long, just like XRP for a long time, it's got to break it, right? And it's proof that it's not ready yet. But once it does, I think it has a real good chance of going higher, right? This is the crypto cap too, so maybe I can do some other XMR.
But I like that it broke through the weekly cloud, and on the 2 week cloud, it's inside and it's tested the bottom as well. Like I like that it's breaking through some levels
Yeah.
to try to get through, right? Like if you put the 2 week, I think it really gives you a much better picture in terms of what it's doing.
Are you on the crypto cap or are you on the?
I am on the which one am I? I mean, I can just share my screen.
Well, yeah, I'm on the KuCoin now, and it is on the 2-week chart. It's holding the bottom of the cloud too.
Yeah, so you got it. Yeah, it's on the bottom cloud, and also like I have some additional history too. I'm gonna share mine here real quick because I think I have like the whatever crypto. I don't even know which one it is, but if you look at like the overall trend in terms of what it's been doing cycle wise, it's very clear chart on the 2 week, right? Just like Tesla, that was a really good story. Whenever the bull market was over, came back, tested the cloud, initially wanted to bounce, when the cloud got rejected, right? And then here it got rejected on the cloud over here, go down further, finally broke through the cloud, testing the bottom of the cloud. You know what's going to happen next, right? Test the top of the cloud, see whether or not it breaks through. If it breaks through, go a lot higher. If not, maybe bottom of the cloud again and then break through again. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I like really want to be that bullish on like privacy coins just because like regulatory concerns, things like that. But anyway, like yeah, it doesn't look bad. I guess technically speaking, I shouldn't interject with my fundamental analysis because I don't know anything. So.
Yeah, I mean that's just your opinion of the coin itself.
That's who knows? My opinion, man.
No, narratives can change really fast, and
it's true.
The chart is saying that support held right way down here back in like the June of 2022. That support held, right? It never made a lower low from there, so I think that is kind of proof that maybe it doesn't want to go lower than that. So I think the possibility of going higher is there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, yeah, look, it's not a bad looking chart. I think we went through all the requests. That's amazing.
Yeah, maybe I can finish with Ethereum or something. I don't know.
Oh, you're just gonna hurt me. You just hurt my feelings by talking about Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum's breaking through my angle there. I don't like it, but it is fine, right? It is really fine, and I like to draw these lines here. Look at that. It back tested it already. A previous resistance breaking out, flipping it to support.
I
already
want
touched
you
it.
to draw the line in a different way. Actually, I can show you the same line here if I would share my screen here real quick.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do that. There you go. Share. The Fibonacci from not from the last cycle, but the cycle before that, from like January 2018, as the 1 and the 0 at the bottom over here around December 2018, drawing a Fibonacci sequence. The 1.618 is where your line is at.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, like honestly, like it's been following Fibonacci levels almost to the T, right? Like when it came back down, it back tested 0.618 like perfectly almost, right? And then it just went up, and then it back tested to 0.786, and then it just kind of break through, and then it broke through the 1.618 here. Looks like it was going to hold, went up further, have a hard time breaking through the 2.618, came back down, back testing the 1.618. It's basically range bound right now. So if you look at it this way, it's not a bearish chart. If you look at it this way, it's like almost like a symmetrical triangle kind of thing. It's not a bearish chart. It's just building up a lot of energy to break out. So you can use other indicators, but like at this point, I think it's more about levels, and I think I'm more thinking like 1.618 is going to be more powerful than breaking through the angle, like to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Like this chart doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah.
And just going back here, especially even if it broke through that, but even it went a little bit lower. It already wicked down to that previous high back in what was that, April of 2023, and then it back tested as support. So no matter which chart we look at, guys, it looks like they're all back testing levels that were important years ago, right? And since they were important years ago, they're still important. And I think if they hold, then that has the potential of everything being the bottom. So no jinxing it, no nothing. But that's just my thoughts. I think Kat has the same opinions. We have the same brain sometimes. So yeah.
I'd say like 99% of the time we have the same brain. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
It's weird, especially when you saw that global liquidity index. You're like, oh God, I got to do it too.
I couldn't sleep. I saw that. I was like, I can't sleep. I got to look more into it.
That's why you had to post it, because you couldn't sleep at all. It was like in your mind too much, huh?
Might as well. I'll just get it out of my mind. Like most of the time I post because I'm trying to unload things on people. But anyway, yeah.
I just kept thinking about it. I see a request for Coinbase, but we're not really doing stocks right now. Just doing crypto. So.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll save Coinbase for another time. I might look a little bit more into it, but yeah, it's been pretty sad.
I love Coinbase at 140 actually. But
yeah, like it's just breaking down a lot further than I thought on low volume too. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's a different story for a different time. Anyway, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. It was a good 50-minute session there, so that's pretty good. Not over an hour. We finally did it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's because I like keeping it short. Anyway, enjoy this as always. We'll try to do this